welcome back, you degenerates, to a very, very, very one-of-a-kind, super special Super Bowl edition of Bet in the Diagonal. Long time, Mr. Mo Watts. Long time.
Long time. Not first time, though. It's been a while, but it's great to be back. I've missed you so much.
I know.
Face.
We've been on this call for about an hour already, and now we're just getting started. We were catching up with life, with things. Things get ahead of you. We didn't forget about you guys. We're still giving out picks every day. Schedules just haven't been lining up as of recently. But we're still here. We're still here. We're not going anywhere.
Here and better than ever.
I'm better than ever. I am profitable in every single sport outside of NHL. I haven't really touched NHL this year. Didn't get a good grasp on it to start the year. But
yeah, I bet on one NHL game last night and I lost, so I'm just never doing it again. So we're just gonna stay away from that.
First off, quick, we'll do the monthly records because that's how good we are with keeping up with this. I came back strong.
This is the first I've heard of these records. So my reaction, if you are watching this, it is going to be completely genuine in the moment.
The only ones that are truly updated are the NFL, unless you want me to go back to last week. And I'd rather not do that for the fans. NFL, I am 53-51. I made a massive comeback. At one point, I was down 12 games. I am back over 52%. Somehow it's 52%. Don't ask me how. It is. You can give me the 51. Don't care. Mr. Mo Watts got cold when the playoffs game. Ice cold.
Shame, too. I was doing so well.
Yeah, he was riding that 50% all season. And I was like, look at this kid. Last year he started bad, got hot, got bad again. But this year, up until the playoffs, you know what killed you? It was the first round player props. I went back and looked. A couple of things didn't fall your way.
I did great. The whole playoffs, I've done phenomenal on totals. And even spreads, I haven't been that bad. But props have just murdered me.
Yeah. 65-72 for you. If you want to go into the real analytics of it,
you get a pen and write these down.
I'll send it to you. You have the document, you idiot.
Yeah, I know.
That's 47%.
It's not good.
All he needs to do is
that might be what I finished college with.
But no, you finished above. You won 52% in college. 78.
I meant like actual college.
Oh,
I finished actual college with 47%.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. With that hair, it probably makes some sense. Listen, we haven't seen each other. We haven't got a chance to talk about real playoff football. What a playoff year it's been.
This has been my second favorite playoffs of all time, aside from the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, every game seems to be down to the wire. Anything that you think is going to be a blowout just turns into, like the Rams 2 weeks ago. They had that game in their hand with 5 minutes left, and the next thing you know, Tom Brady sacrifices a goat, and then it's a one-score game. Bills Chiefs may have been the greatest football game of all time.
No, not might have. It was. There was no doubt about it.
It might have been because the overtime rules suck. If the overtime rules was each team gets the ball no matter what, it would have been because Josh Allen's got the biggest dick in the league. But outside of that, you have anything you want to talk about the Eagles?
I love this. These games have been just amazing to watch. Watching the Cowboys go out in the first round, just like the Eagles, that nobody could talk shit about the Eagles getting bounced then. It was just beautiful. They stink, perpetual losers. Absolutely love it. Rams have looked great. Watching the Cardinals go down early, that was shocking. Didn't expect that. I'm kind of like out on the Kyler Murray train. I kind of thinking he sucks. Yeah.
I don't think it's Kyler as much as it's Kingsbury. I think Kingsbury's a fraud.
Kingsbury's a bum. He's a terrible coach. I don't know why he gets so much love. But Buffalo should have won the Super Bowl. I protested almost this entire year that Buffalo should win the Super Bowl champion no matter what. They got hosed. I think Kansas City is the most. I'm famous for now saying that the Ravens are the biggest frauds out there. No, I think the Chiefs are the biggest frauds out there. We all got really high on their 2016, 2018, whatever it was, Super Bowl, where they looked fucking phenomenal. Their offense is amazing. They're a bunch of rat bastards. They stink. They don't deserve it or anything. But it's been great. I've loved this playoffs.
A lot of fighting words. Shout out to Eagles though for just getting into the playoffs. Everybody knew that they weren't going to win that game, but it was nice to see them try to put up a fight.
We got in, right? There's always got to be the one weird kid at the party. It was us this year.
Yep, the same thing with my Steelers. I didn't want them to make it, but like when Big Ben won that first game to potentially get us in, I was like, okay, let's win this game for Ben, and then let's just get in, give him one last hurrah where he can get blown out in the playoffs. That's kind of what happened.
He can limp off the field one more time.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions. The week 18 games were insane too. Now I'm thinking about it.
Literally everything.
The Chargers and Raiders game that had
Raiders were gonna knee it and take the fucking tie to get them both in. Oh. Unbelievable.
So quick story. I had been talking with my friends about the conspiracy all day that the Raiders and the Chargers were going to tie after the Steelers won. And everybody's like, don't take that bet. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. I'm sitting there, 1 a.m., phone in bed, just my sad face looking at my phone screen. I can slightly see the tears rolling down my eyes of the Steelers not going to make the playoffs, and the bet that I should have placed of like plus 10,000 or whatever it was for a tie. I'm like, this is the easiest bet in the world, because I did bet tie first half and it hit, and I was going to bet tie full game. So I was going to do double, and it would have been plus 10,000. Instead, I'm sitting here, 3 seconds left. They call a timeout. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh my God.
Why would you do this to me?
I was like, I can't believe that they're going to lose this game. I can't believe they're just going to end in a tie. I was so many emotions, but that's football, baby. That is football.
This past 2 months have not been for the faint of heart. If you are a football fan, it has been the electric chair every single goddamn day.
I feel like
it's beautiful.
Since the new year, every game I've bet on has been a sweat.
Yeah, I haven't had. There's a few, like NBA, I've had like a few comfy, but like football, the only ones that I felt really comfortable with are the totals. None of the actual like spreads at all. I'm like, oh God, what am I going to do here? Like even this Super Bowl, like this is another one. Like it's like, oh God, what are you going to do with everything? Yeah, totals are the only thing I think have anyone felt like any confidence in the slightest bit.
Yeah, that's why I've been taking a lot of money lines, especially in college basketball. Like if it's like a -2.5 or so, I'm just taking the money line, man. I'm just taking the money line, get my money. Games have been wild. College basketball heating up. We'll talk about that sometime later. We'll figure out a show for it. But let's get into some Super Bowl stuff.
Let's start. I mean, I feel like we got to start where the game starts. The National Anthem.
Yeah,
like, that's where we got to start with.
I know you have a whole bunch of stuff to say about it.
I know, and I know you hate everything I have to say.
I don't hate anything you have. All your stuff adds up. All your stuff adds up, which
and
is
I know
it makes no sense to me.
I know. I understand. I do understand, though it sometimes doesn't seem it. Our national anthem this year will be sung by the one and only Mickey Guyton of country music fame. Love to see that. Historically, the line right now for this is set at 99.5 seconds for the national anthem. Two things I'm looking at big with this one. Three things, I guess, first off. I've been listening to Mickey Guyton probably for the past, 2 years or so. Mickey Guyton songs, she doesn't take her time when she sings. We get into it. We aren't just building up to a song or anything. It's bumping, it's moving, the pace is going along really quickly. She's done the national anthem 2 previous times that have been recorded performances. Memorial Day last year, which was timed at 1 minute and 25 seconds. She also did it in 2015 in Nashville, opening a country music festival where she was recorded at under 1 minute 30. It's not an official time, but it was under 1 minute 30.
You know why it wasn't an official time?
Go ahead, do your spin zone.
No, because the microphone wasn't actually on until the word dawn, so they don't have an official time for it.
Under a minute 30. Still all the
It,
same.
it was still under a minute 30.
Yeah.
And because
Great,
it's
that's
4
great
words.
next level information. Phenomenal next level information
Just
right
give
there.
me that.
I did not even have that one.
I read this morning.
I listened to the performance, but did not know that part. So kudos to you, though. Last national anthem in the Super Bowl that was under 99 and a half seconds was all the way back in 2012 with Kelly Clarkson. So it's due to get back to it again this year.
Now, everything you've said, I agree with. Kelly Clarkson, the under was slant.
Yeah,
Slant back in 2012. Never came close. This number makes perfect sense. My issue, she's never sung at a stage like this before. That's my only issue. If she's
fair.
tailing,
it's a fair issue. It's a very fair issue.
she's tailing around 85 seconds normally, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Nah, that's gonna be long and dragged out enough. A minute 35.
My fear, so I do, and I think it's better. My fear of this one, big time though, is the secondary performer that we don't know who it's going to be. Like how last year, I don't remember what her last name was, Jasmine and something, and Eric Church, where were the national anthem last year together. And while it was nuts, we didn't know how that was going to look together. My fear that I have is that because like halftime is such a massive event, there's undoubtedly, I feel like, something that we don't know that's going to happen, and someone else is going to jump in. Now, I've watched when I last saw her last live performance that I saw was when she did the CMAs back in December, I believe it was. She performed with two other women, and it was a very long performance. However, at a country music show like that, it's going to be significantly longer. And it's very different. It's an actual song, and like a real song and everything.
Well, hold on. Pause. Are you trying to tell me that the national anthem of the United States of America's glorious country is not a song?
No, I'm not saying
you of all people.
I'm not saying that. I need to put my American overalls on right now. Where's my Gardner Minshew outfit? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But one of the similar stages and everything, it gets really into it and everything. And there is always something like when she did the CMAs, we did not expect there to be two more people on the stage with her in her performance. So that is what's kind of my fear that I get. There could be somebody else who jumps in there with her.
Here's a fear I have. I've just pulled up an article. Like I said, I agree. The numbers add up to bet the under, right? She is currently nominated for 3 Grammys. Best country album? Fine. Cool. Best country song? Cool. Fine. The best country solo performance for Remember Her Name. What better way to solidify a Grammy than go on to national TV in the biggest stage in America and just belt the national anthem to slam the over?
That makes sense. She's not going to win the Grammy.
I don't think so either.
She's not going to win any of those Grammys. But I mean, that's, again, great next level thought process for sure.
Just thinking.
It's going to be either it slams the under a lot or it crushes the over. It goes way over. There's not going to be a middle ground with this one. This is not going to be a sweat. We are going to know relatively quick what's going on here.
Or maybe not. Might take some time. Take maybe a minute, 35 seconds to know.
I'll be having that stopwatch ready to go. I mean, it's the best part.
That's truly one of my favorite things to bet on, though. It really is. The national anthem. It's just, because there's so much drama, like when you actually start it, when you stop it, everybody and their mother has a different actual time for it. So everybody's rushing to see what the official number was on Twitter. It's a great time. It was like the Gatorade debacle of last year. Nobody knew what the Gatorade color was for 25 minutes.
I remember you and I sitting there. That was torture.
We broke the news.
Yeah, that was the absolute most mind-blowing thing I'd ever seen. Oh my goodness. I'm remembering. I'm getting PTSD right now just thinking about it.
Oh, don't worry. We'll talk about Gatorade later on.
Oh, but, I know. As we're talking, I'm currently researching Gatorade. And if there's any shortages of dyes or anything this year.
Yeah, that's how. Listen, guys, we did a 2.5 hour episode last year on this show. We won't run this long tonight, but it's a coin flip really at the end of the day, right? You never know what you're gonna get. But speaking of coins,
flipping coins.
Speaking of coins, the greatest tradition in American sports. See who decides the football.
Started with quarter.
Yeah, I got the bigger chip so people can see my Bellagio chip right here. Heads or tails is the question that everybody wants to know. And if you've ever played Madden or if you're just a smart man in general, Mr. Mo Watts, tell him the saying.
Plain and simple. Tails never fails, baby.
Tails never fails.
Ride tails until we die.
I will tell you a fun fact I just heard on the radio driving home work. The Rams are 12-5 in coin tosses this year.
Ooh.
They pick heads every time.
Interesting.
Heads is 3-1 in the last 4 Super Bowls. To me, what it sounds like, it's the easiest bet of all time. It's tails. Because it is. Because tails never fails. You go 3-1 in the last 4. It's got to come back to the median. We always talk about this. Everything comes back to the middle. It's plain and simple. Tails never fails. Easiest bet of my life.
100%. Absolutely. It's the first prop that you put in for the Super Bowl. Tails never fails.
I had it in last week. No problems.
Yep. That was one of the first ones I had ready to go. You just can't. You cannot. You don't mess with a streak. It's what they say in baseball. You don't mess with a streak. Tails works. Right, tails.
Mo Watts, before we go any farther, do we want to go into actual players first, and then go do a couple player bets, and then go back into like the exotic stuff? We want to keep going with the exotic stuff.
Let's keep going exotic. Let's keep it frisky, and then we'll get into the game itself.
Okay. Moments before we started going live, I found my favorite bet. My favorite bet of all time. Chris Collinsworth over 5.5. Now here's a guy. Listen. Now here's a guy I hate more than anything in the world. I'd rather lose by 100. I'd rather lose 100 bets by a hook than hear him call a game. I can't stand his voice. I can't stand when he says, "Now here's a guy." He says it basically every play. I'm taking the over. I'm never looking back. I was really scrolling down to the bottom, and I saw Chris Collinsworth's name. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that bet is. Taking it. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I absolutely love it.
That's a low number.
I 100% is, and I can literally just hear Chris Collinsworth saying it over and over and over again. It's terrifying, honestly, completely terrifying.
It truly is.
Oh, I'm actually looking up another one right now. I can't stop myself now.
That's the danger. Listen,
I know.
While you're looking up whatever it is you're looking up, I'll give you a little public service announcement. A, always gamble responsibly. And B, anybody who tells you that the Super Bowl is just another game, it is not. It is a celebration of the end of the football season. Celebration for most people who gamble, because not everybody does college basketball. Not everybody does the NBA. Not everybody bets on the Olympics. They wait till baseball, so they have like a couple months. They're not doing anything. This is a big day to people. This is why we're here. Give me the special stuff. Give me that juice. Give me that Chris Collinsworth. Now here's a guy, because we are that guy. I'm that guy, pal. I'll tell you that right now.
God. Oh no!
I'm that guy, pal.
Oh no!
Mo Watts, what do you got for me?
All right. So one of the ones, there's an easy one. I want to take a risk on a play. It's going kind of back to the National Anthem a little bit. Plus 600. Is there going to be any words forgotten? Any words at all? I think there's always a chance. And that's just that number itself. Absolutely love it. But anyway,
drama.
Other one that I saw. There's going to be a Michelob Ultra commercial that comes out with Mr. Peyton Manning in it, where he is bowling. But the bet of Peyton Manning to bet a ball a strike in this commercial. That's the bet right there. I absolutely love it.
What are the odds on that?
He is at plus 250 to hit a strike.
To bowl a strike?
Bowl a strike.
The guy's a Hall of Famer.
Bingo. Exactly.
Put some respect on his name.
My man here is an athlete. And I think the thinking is because he's, lanky, unathletic looking kind of guy and everything. Unbelievable. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to hit for it for certain. So we're going to take that one. I absolutely love it. I'm thrilled by it. So
I love that. I want in. How do I get in on that?
Sports athletes bowl. That's what they do. They golf and they bowl in their spare time. Right?
You think, all right, so this is what happens. They play golf usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. During the week, they're in a bowling league on Tuesday nights.
That's exactly it. Golfers, especially during the season and everything, you're in the off-season football. You're not really going golfing. Peyton Manning, I don't think is a warm weather kind of guy. He seems like a cold weather kind of guy to me.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be in the inside bowling. We're going to take a shot at it. And, he's been golfing against Tom Brady for all these past few celebrity tournaments and everything. He's an okay golfer. I think he spends more time in the bowling alley, though, for sure.
He loves the lanes. He loves the lanes, I think. What else you got?
No, you go. You can go next. I have my next one up.
I was going to move into halftime.
Okay.
Listen, we're in LA. West Coast. Hey. There's the goats of rap. You've got Dr. Dre. You've got Snoop Dogg. You've got Kendrick Lamar. You've got Eminem. You got Mary J. Blige all on one stage performing. It's only natural for them all to be up there in LA. The place where shows happen, where magic happens. This is no Disneyland. This is LA, where the stars come out to play. So I'm sitting there thinking, there's got to be something for me to bet on, right? How can we find some value here? Let's take a step back. What state is LA located in?
LA would be in that state of California.
Oh man, I heard that a certain guy's got a whole lot of love for California. I'm taking California Love -110 as the first song. And in that song, Dr. Dre will be the first person to sing, talk, or rap. That's at +130. Now hear me out. I have a conspiracy. There's an unknown guest you may or may not know. I think they're bringing Tupac out in a hologram form, +600. They did it at Coachella. Why would they not do it here at the Super Bowl? Come on. +600. I'll throw a couple dollar bills on that.
That's phenomenal money. As someone who was at Coachella the year that they did the Tupac hologram, I can definitely see it happening again. 1,000%. It was awesome the first time. It'll be epic this time. Get Tupac out there doing a little California Love. Yeah. Oh, man.
I have it down to 2 songs. I'll probably play both of them to hedge out. It's either going to be that one, California Love, or the next episode, which is fine. I'll take that. But I also found one more bet that I do like. Over under 2.5 times the amount of times that marijuana will be mentioned during the half. Any form of using, smoking, anything marijuana. I don't remember the exact way the bet is spelled out, but over under 2.5 times the use of marijuana being talked about in the songs. You have Dr. Dre. I don't know if anybody knows the hook to the next episode. It goes something along like "Smoke weed every day," and then you have Snoop Dogg. He'll be smoking on stage. He's guaranteed at least 3 things. Over under 2.5 is a terrible number, and it's -110. I like that too, and then that kind of does it for me. I might have one more. I don't know yet, but
it's gonna be
for now.
Wild.
For now, I like that. That's a good one. I love that bet.
That's a great one. All right, I have one I really do like, and I think it's gonna slam the over on it. Is going to be how many commercials are going to have a dog in them? The number is over 6.5, hammering that over. think about all the beer commercials that there are going to be, all the like insurance company type of commercials, car company commercials that are going to try to show like the family and stuff like that. That is going. What is the nuclear family? 4 members and a dog. That's what you think of. I think it's going to slam that over. I think you're going to get double-digit dogs in these commercials. Like, it's going to be unbelievable. Yeah, so I absolutely love that prop in its own. I think that's going to be fucking awesome.
All these major multi-billion-dollar companies have these commercials down to a science, especially during the big game.
Yeah.
You know, people love good jokes and dogs.
That's
you get them both. You get them both in a commercial. You're selling stuff.
I think you just described 2/3 of the things I follow on Instagram right there.
Yeah, I know the third part.
Yeah, you do.
Oh God!
I really like it. I'm full disclosure. I know nothing about what I'm about to say, but it seems too obvious. It's at -155. Will a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT be shown? I don't know shit about NFTs or anything, but I do know what that is, and it seems to be pretty fucking popular, especially out in LA and everything.
To be shown or
to be shown? Just to be shown.
Interesting.
I think
I can get the answer to that. I know a guy who knows a guy.
With everything that's so popular and whatnot right now with Twitter and everything, and you figure it's going to be such a big spectacle out in LA in the stadium, you know, welcoming in the Super Bowl and everything, where it's going to host all these massive events and whatnot. It has to be, right?
I know for a fact that both Snoop Dogg and Eminem both own Bored Apes.
I mean, there you might even have one.
Another halftime? It's a lot of halftime stuff going on.
I mean, it makes too much sense.
Yeah.
So it might not be a huge payout by any means, but win's a win, baby.
Yeah. Listen, there's some bets out there that you just gotta hammer. You just gotta hammer and just take your money and run. You know. You want to get to the game a little bit? I got 1, 2, 3. I have 4 props, and then the game.
Let's talk the game. Let's talk spread and total. Then we'll talk some props, and then we'll do like MVP and that kind of stuff.
Okay. And then I got Gatorade at the end.
Gatorade. We'll close it out with Gatorade.
You know it, because Gatorade is the best part. Mr. Mo Watts, we happen to be, shocker, on the opposite side of each other.
I noticed you said wrong a little bit right there.
I was gonna say you were on the wrong side, but
it seems like this is a shot we want to take across the bow right away.
Well, my first line of notes is Operation Fade Mo Watts has worked all year, and we won't stop now. That's how it goes, buddy.
I can't. There's nothing I can say. You know, kudos to you for enjoying my misery sometimes.
I don't enjoy your misery. I just enjoy winning more. That's all.
Fair. I respect that.
Yeah. Hit me with your reasons why you think your team is going to win, and then I'll just give you my nonsense because I know I'm right.
All right. So I am going to be on the Rams -4.5. I think the Bengals are the hot new car, the new sexy car in the garage and everything that everybody wants to play with. And everybody wants to show, but no one's remembering the old reliable. What has been there, what has now been proven to you the entire year, has the ability to negate what the Bengals do well. What do the Bengals do well, you might ask? A great question, Billy. Phenomenal question. I'm glad you asked, man. They have a pretty great offense. I don't deny it. Phenomenal offense. And clearly the stage is not too big for Mr. Joe Burrow, whom hands up, I admit I was wrong when he first got drafted. I said he was going to suck. I admit I was wrong. So I think I think the stage will be too big for him. It's very obvious. I know everybody's been talking about it since the matchup was announced. Bengals offensive line versus the Rams defensive line. That's where this game will come down to the trenches and everything. Bengals have done a pretty good job, aside from the Titans game, giving up 9 sacks. Last week, they did a very good job against the Chiefs. I think it was 1 sack they gave up total. I know Chris Jones was in the backfield a couple times, but they did a very good job of scheming away from him and getting Burrow, just getting out of the ball quick enough where he wasn't taking ridiculous hits. There's a bit of a difference, in my opinion. The Chiefs pass rush, Chiefs defense, not that great. As I said earlier, Chiefs very overrated team. Chris Jones, awesome player, phenomenal player, but they don't have that secondary guy. Frank Clark can't stay out of trouble, can't stay on the field. They don't have that secondary pass rusher. The Rams have a lot of very good pass rushers. Obviously, we have Aaron Donald, best defensive player in football. Probably can make a case the best player in football. Leonard Floyd, phenomenal situational pass rusher coming off the edge of the 3-4 defense. There's a guy named Von Miller who got picked up at midseason, whom was picked up for moments like this, for games like this, who dominated I don't know what number Super Bowl it was, but whatever the Super Bowl was.
25 years ago.
It was only 6 or so years ago.
Feels like a decade ago.
Dominated against the Panthers a few years back, winning Super Bowl MVP himself. I think that this is going to be a huge Von Miller game. I think that defensive line is going to be able to overtake the Bengals offensive line. I can't sit there and see Isaiah Prince holding up against either Donald or Von Miller when they line up against him. I think the interior can be collapsed as well, which is going to force Burrow to really have to, get outside of the pocket. Rams got a ton of speed. Their secondary, Jalen Ramsey's phenomenal. They've Williams, their second corner, who's very good. They have very good safeties. They're able to get you off the field, which I absolutely love. Another reason I really like this game, I do think in two ways this game is going to come down to the special teams, but not the special teams that I know you and I were texting about with Mr. Evan McPherson, best kicker in NFL history, not because of him, but I think because of Johnny Hecker. Because having a punter like Johnny Hecker who can change field position in such a degree and pin you down within the 5-yard line consistently like he can, that's massive, especially for a team that gets a ton of pressure against a very leaky offensive line. That is going to be huge, create short field opportunities for the Rams, really going to limit the playbook that the Bengals have, where they're not going to be able to take, you have to do quick 3-step drops. You're not going to be able to take the 5-step drop, sit back in the pocket and let the play develop a little bit. It's going to force Burrow to get rid of the ball, dink and dunk possibly a little more, which is why one of the props we'll talk about I very much like. I think the Rams are just a more talented team right now. And also I think that I believe that they have the ability to get it done a little bit more. I don't love Sean McVay. I trust him more in this spot though than I do Zach Taylor. So yeah, I think the Bengals are the sexy pick. I love the Bengals. I'd love to see the Bengals win. The money in the pick, I don't think that they will. I think the Rams getting 4.5. I think it's a sucker line to get people to take the Bengals. And I think the Rams can win this by a touchdown.
Listen, the line makes no sense. First, line makes no sense. Am I right?
I agree. Completely agree.
Why is it 4.5? You're telling me you're telling me that the Rams at home, quote unquote at home, because nobody who's a real fan can afford to go to the Super Bowl anymore, $35,000 tickets. That's a story for another day. Don't even get me started on that. The working man can't go to the Super Bowl. It's a damn shame. That's all I got to say.
Not blue collar.
Blue collar, working hard. Doesn't make any sense. Still a home team, still in their own city, didn't have to travel anywhere. They're used to the lights. LA, at least the famous people being around. Usually get 3 points at home. Call it 2.5. You're telling me that the Bengals are supposed to be even money with the Rams, right? That's what you're saying? But they're getting a 4. They're basically even teams. That's what you're telling me. I'm going to take the guy who's a better quarterback. The guy's got everything to win. Nothing to lose. The guy who's never lost a big game a day in his life. Won his high school championship 3 times. Won the national championship. Won the Heisman. Came out last year balling, got hurt. Guess what? Came back. Looks like an absolute stud. Looks like a stud. Joe Shiesty. Joe Burrow. The man, the myth, the cigar-toting legend. He's just a stud. He's a stud. I'm going to go with the hot quarterback. I'm going to go with the one who doesn't have aches and pains all over his body. Fun fact, completely unrelated to the actual NFL. I bought Madden before the season started. Hear me out here. This is going somewhere. Every year, I sim the season, the first regular season franchise, always to see what Madden thing is going to happen. Last year they had the Bucks winning. Cool, weird. This year, I simmed the whole season. Cincinnati Bengals, 13 wins, win the Super Bowl. I sent a screenshot to our producer, Mr. Joe Green. I said, "Look at this dumb shit." I ate my words. Joe Shiesty set me up. I'm doing it for the late great John Madden. Rest in peace. He always knows
Can't
more.
bring John Madden into
Oh,
this.
I'm bringing Johnny Boy into this.
That's dirty.
I'm bringing Johnny Boy into this. Listen, last week the Rams were up 3 scores with 5-6 minutes left. Found a way to choke. Almost blow the game. If they weren't up 3 scores, they wouldn't be here. Bengals don't make those kind of mistakes. Besides that dropped interception, that should have never been close. Listen, I like the Bengals. I think their wide receiver core is better. Yes, I know Cooper Kupp has won me lots of money this year. Shout out to Cooper Kupp plus 3,400. Told you guys nobody ever listens to me anymore. Told you Matthew Stafford over 27.5 touchdowns. Nobody ever listens to me anymore. I've been in a predicament for 2 weeks.
For the record, the 27 touchdowns I said as well. Let's throw that out there.
Yeah, you did as well. I'm just saying, Cooper Kupp was all me, baby. I've made a lot of money with the Rams this year. I haven't made a lot of money with the Bengals. They're the hot team. The defense is playing strong. Just keep Eli Apple off the field as much as possible, and you're going to win this game. It's that simple. And I for sure think they're going to cover the 4.5. Let's think about this playoffs. Mr. Mo Watts, let's think about these playoffs real quick. Has any game been a blowout? Has anybody, besides like the Bucks beating the Eagles, everything's been close. So I don't want to give it a shot. That was the biggest range of score. Was that game? Everything's been close. You're going to give me more than a field goal? I'll take it. Give me the field goal. I'm doing equal money on the money line. I'm fairly confident the Bengals come out and win this. Joe Burrow's got a big dick energy. It's going to be Josh Allen and Joe Burrow the next 15 years fighting it out for the Super Bowl. And that's just what it is. I swayed you, didn't I? Swayed you. Look at your face.
No, you haven't swayed me. So I will say to rebuttal your one thing, because I too did the Madden thing. However, I didn't do it the same way you did. I just did it recently. This week, it actually was for a completely separate thing. I decided to make a new Eagles franchise and make it realistic and everything. I inputted the end result of every single game from the NFL season, play it out all the way through the playoffs and everything. And I got up to, I guess this was 2 weeks ago I started this now. So before the championship games were played out and everything, and I let it roll and whatnot. And I got a Bengals-Rams Super Bowl. I had a Rams final score, 27-10 over the Bengals in the Super Bowl. With injuries accurate, all the same schedule. So all obviously video game, all injuries accurate, momentum, all that kind of stuff, all with it. I got a 27-10 final. So just
it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not the same. More accurate potentially because I did the exact way this whole season went.
John Madden knew that Joe Burrow had the biggest dick in the NFL outside of Robbie Gould.
There's a guy named Big Dick Nick who would like to say something about that.
Listen, is he on a football team anymore?
He is. He's on the Chicago Bears
for now.
He should
listen. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a hell of a game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout.
I think it's very interesting. There's a bunch of awesome little side storylines in this game that are really cool. Like I said,
I won't be mad if I lose because I love Matt Stafford. Matthew Stafford. I've been saying him for a decade.
I remember when we said in the beginning of the year when we first talked to NFL for the season, we said we had a Rams as a Super Bowl contender, and we want Stafford needs it for his Hall of Fame resume.
Yeah,
like he needs that Super Bowl. It's interesting. Like I said, I think the Rams are going to get it. I don't think that the Bengals are going to be able to put up more than 17 points against the Rams defense. I really don't think they'll be able to. I think, yes,
the Rams let up 17 points in the final 5 minutes of that game last week.
Yeah, that was
And
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was Tom Brady. Yeah, it was, but they didn't have half of their pieces. This is a better offense than the Bucks.
That's true, but I think that you've now had more time to game plan. I think Tom Brady factors mass. That's its own thing. That's
Yeah,
mystique,
sacrificing
right?
goats. I get it. Yeah,
Absolutely its own thing. I think you having more time to practice game plans for this and everything, get guys healthier. I think that the fact that they are at home is a very underrated storyline, just based on the fact that you do not have and you don't have to do any travel whatsoever. You're not leaving Cincinnati, flying from Cincinnati to LA. Yeah, it's not the longest flight in the world or anything, and I know they fly out there about a week early and everything. Jet lag shouldn't be an
they
issue.
landed yesterday. They got there yesterday.
It's just throwing little things off your routine that the Rams do not have to deal with in any fashion, right? It sets up more of a failure opportunity for the Rams, I think, to get a little bit more complacent. Yes, but I don't think that is going to be the case. I really think the Rams can do it. I think that Aaron Donald's going to get to him. I think that the home game factor is going to be massive for the Rams. It's the home crowd and everything. Like, I don't get me wrong, I'd love to see the Bengals win. I love Joe Burrow now. I'd love to see them win. I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think the matchups play into their favor.
I
I mean, the
don't
last thing,
know if that's
last
not
thing I
true.
had though with that pick, I mean, I've total. Well, I'll talk about it in just a second. But last thing with the spread pick, I mean, I'm sure you probably saw it. America's favorite family predicted this game quite some time ago, and they tend to predict a lot of things. The Simpsons predicted the Bengals to win over the Rams in the Super Bowl, 34-31. Just that was I mean it was 1990. It was predicted to happen, but not ideal for my side of the story.
Listen, let me ask you a question. When's the last time the Simpsons were wrong? I thought I wasn't going to bring the Simpsons thing up. I wasn't going to bring it up.
About it until this morning. One of my buddies texted me about it, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's a problem. I don't like that at all." That's nervous. I started I won't lie. I started to waver a little bit, but I'm going to stick to my gut. I'm going to ride out what I believe is going to happen.
Yeah.
Which in turn, sticking with that, I think the play for the total is the under 48.5.
I think it's to be close, but I do think it. I think it lands 48.
I can see that happening. I can see it very well.
I think there will be points. I like the first half under, for sure.
Yeah,
all first half under is almost always a lock. I don't know what the number is. Don't really care. I'm going to take it, but I do like the under.
I like that. I don't know what the first half number is either. I agree with you there. I think this is going to be a much more physical, low scoring, slower game than a lot of people think. Even though there's so much explosive weapons, I think that you're going to have the first quarter is going to be very much that feeling out process. Two teams that do not play each other ever. They never see each other. They never scout each other or anything. They don't have players on the other side that have been there with that regime. I think it's going to be very much a feeling out process. The defenses and the Bengals defense is very good. It's been very much underrated. It's really what's gotten them to this point. I think they're going to really look to establish themselves very early on. I think you're going to see a heavy dosage of running game, especially for the Bengals side. I think Mixon's going to have a very big game. But I think I love the total. Like I said, I think that I don't think the Bengals are going to get more than 20 points. I really don't. I think the final score, my prediction for it is 27-16 as a final score with the Rams winning, which keeps me under those numbers and everything. It just I think that the Rams defense can swarm the ball, can make things happen. So I love the Thunder in this game. I think it opened up at 50. It's dropped to 48.5 now. We'll see what it does going later. I know the popular bet is the over. Public money goes to the over.
Yeah, I don't think the line moves with any more money. No, I thought that
moved yet.
Here's my theory when the lines first came out. I thought the line opened up way too small. I thought that this should be a 6-point spread.
Yeah.
I thought that it should have been 48, which is where it's going to land. And I thought that the line was going to move to 6, or at least a 5.5. But it didn't. Regardless, I knew I kind of liked the Bengals. I like the story. I like Joe Burrow. I'm not a big Zach Taylor guy. If you follow me, us over at FFD, you'll hear me talking shit about how I don't think he's a great coach. But when push comes to shove, Joe Burrow can make more plays. He just can. And in a big game, I'll take the guy who can make something happen. I like a little magic. But let's get into some player props, and then let's close it out with some Gatorade.
All right. You start us off as your players. What you got?
All right. You were talking before about the run game being a big deal. I am going to be taking the under from a certain player named Mr. Cam Akers, under 64.5 rushing yards. All these people I see on Twitter throwing their 10 leg parlays up with over 64.5 squares. That's what you are, as a square. Cam Akers has not been efficient since he come back. Darrell Henderson is going to be playing in some fashion. Sony Michel is there. At best, you're going to get a 50% workload for Cam Akers. He's not explosive enough to get 64.5 rushing yards. Throughout the playoffs, he's only averaged 1.8 yards per carry. Therefore, he's not getting the ball 64 times. Therefore, he's not getting to that number. Side note, if you think for a moment that Sean McVay, probably the best memory in the history of the world, if you watch him on YouTube doing like the play calls from 20 years ago, knowing exactly what play things are, if you think he forgot about the 2 fumbles last week against the Bucks that almost cost him the Super Bowl, you got yourself mistaken. That's what you got. Cam Akers is not going to be the lead back. I don't think he leads the team in touches.
I agree with you there.
Cam Akers under 64.5 is my favorite bet of the night. It really is. People are saying that he's gonna go off. He's gonna have a great game. Bengals run defense has been stout in the playoffs. Has not allowed much. Give me Cam Akers under 64.5. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like that one as well an awful lot. I didn't get the good number like you did. I have 62.5, but I still love that number. I will be all over that one as well with you. I remember once I saw you talking about it previously. I was like, oh, yep, that makes way too much sense. I love that pick. That's one of my favorite picks you probably ever given.
I'm obsessed with this pick. I've thought about it all week. I placed it last week and I haven't looked back.
And what else you got?
I've got Odell anytime touchdown scorer plus 140 because Eli Apple couldn't put covers on his little car bed as a child, let alone cover Odell in a big game. Eli Apple and Odell, former teammates. Odell probably torched him in practice on a daily basis. Knows how to get under his skin. Knows how to beat him. I also have Tyler Boyd over 41.5 yards. I think this is a really great value bet. A lot of DFS guys are loading up on Tyler Boyd this week. For the simple fact that the defense is going to have its hands full with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. It should lead to some easy yardage, easy targets, quick 10-yard slant plays, just a couple of those. I don't know how I feel about the 4.5 receptions that they're giving them, but it's plus money, so I might dabble. Come Sunday, I will be giving like a full-on massive player prop parlay. I'm just going to screenshot my player prop parlay and throw it up there for you guys.
Got the notes app ready to go.
A 15-pick player prop parlay. My last one, me and you talked about this like 3 days ago. Evan McPherson, over 1.5 field goals. And I don't hate the over 7.5 points. I don't hate that either, but I'm playing it safe with the 1.5. It's minus 120. This is an analytical pick for you. This is the only time I'm going to be analytical all day. Cincinnati, only 1 4th down attempt in the playoffs. They just take the points when they can. They just get the points on the board. That's another reason why I like them. They don't try to force things and get a bad turnover. They just take the points. Throughout this season, he has averaged 2.4 field goal attempts per game, which was second best in the NFL. During the playoffs, 4 attempts per game. Hasn't missed. Give me the over 1.5. Slam it.
I'm all over that as well. As soon as you told me, I said, "Yup, love it." We're currently being redubbed Legatron. All over that 1.5 for sure. Absolutely love it. I love both that Akers and McPherson picks. I've already locked both of those in as well. As soon as you mentioned those to me, I think those are phenomenal. There's, it's, like I said, I think it's how this game is going to be. I think it's going to be a field goal game for the Bengals. I think they're only going to get 1 touchdown out of them. So I think that plays exactly how I see this game falling for it. Three other.
I'd go all day. I can go all day. I can give you 10 more if you want.
I have a bunch more I'm cooking on, but I have 3 more I have in right now. I just couldn't count. Joe Burrow, under 278.5 passing. Again, I do not believe that they will be able to move the ball that well against the Rams defense here. I'm going to take it. I think Ramsey's going to have a monster game. I think the safety's going to be good. I think the pressure is going to get to Burrow a little bit in this one, where he's going to stay under that number. He's going to have to dink and dunk a little bit more. Cup, over 102.5 receiving. You got to go to the well. 100% have to go to it. Was it 19-1 this season to the over? But if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to give out a Cooper Cup anytime touchdown because that's minus 190.
Yeah, it's not. There's no value there.
Come on,
not in the slightest.
Come on,
bit. One of the bets I really do like is going to be Tyler Boyd over 41.5 receiving. With CJ Uzomah out, I think that the middle of the field is going to be. There's going to be so much of an emphasis put on Jamar Chase on this game. Not to have the big play over the top and everything. What?
You just took my pick. I just said that 2 minutes ago.
I understand that. I'm now talking about the reasoning behind it and everything. Let me do my thing. For good grief! You tell we haven't talked for a while. It's got to get in my ear already. I think Boyd is going to very much take the tight end role. He is going to be playing the middle field. Backup tight end for the Bengals is Drew Sample, who was a high second-round pick for them, who has not worked out. He's going to be more of a blocking tight end. I think in this game he's going to need to chip significantly more. So I think you will see a lot more of little slants, zig routes, like the little drag routes for Tyler Boyd coming across the middle. I think he's going to – I want to see him hit his over and his receiving prop, but I think he'll hit his receptions as well. So I think he could be another anytime touchdown guy that I think is going to have a really good shot possibly to get one in. I don't know what his number is off the top of my head, but he's one that would be very interesting to see because I think he will occupy a lot of space, with T. Higgins and Chase on the back outsides of there. So love that one.
What don't you have a number for?
Anytime touchdown for Boyd.
Okay, I don't have it. I thought I just know that the receptions probably like plus 200, plus 220.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it as we go. I'll have a bunch more, like Billy said. I'm gonna have a special notes app edition for prop picks. Tyler Boyd is plus 1,800.
Anytime?
I'm sorry. It's a first touchdown. I was reading it wrong. He's plus 275 anytime. So good number, still a good number.
I don't hate that value.
No, not at all. I'm happy to take that. One of the other ones I really, really like, and it gets into my Super Bowl MVP pick. Rams defense anytime touchdown plus 400. I will be playing that as well because, drum roll please. Hey, so we get into now, we'll talk about like more picks MVP. I'm taking Von Miller as MVP for the Super Bowl. I have a bet on him at plus 4,500. I have a couple MVP bets, but he is my biggest long shot one. As I said earlier, he's going to be a big game player. This is why they brought him in for this moment right here. He's done it before. He's won a Super Bowl MVP. I think we could see a strip sack touchdown from Von Miller. That's going to be the winning outcome of this game. Other than that, obviously, you got to go with the Staffords and stuff like that. If I was to look at a Bengals one, Boyd actually would probably be the guy I would look at because I do think he is going to play a very big role in this game, especially with just the familiarity. I feel like Burrow's not going to have the time to get the ball to the outside, so I would definitely be interested in Tyler Boyd as well.
Interesting. I haven't dove too deep into the MVPs. I'm going to take a look now.
Stafford's a plus 100.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. If the Rams win, I do think it's going to be on Cup's back, and I think they give it to him because he's been robbed of the MVP this year, just like Josh Allen was robbed last year. First off, Aaron Rodgers, no business winning an MVP. No business this year winning an MVP. He missed games, this and that. Cooper Cup breaking records left and right this year. Just saying. I get it's a quarterback award, but Tom Brady retired. Don't give it to him.
I think Brady's going to win the MVP, and part of his reasoning for retiring is because he can be like, yeah, I walked away as the very best player in the game still, and I won MVP. I think that's something that's absolutely in the back of Tom Brady's head.
Let's see. Let's take a look. Yeah, there's not much I love. maybe if Hendrickson gets a strip sack for a touchdown, that's great odds plus 10,000. That's worth throwing a couple dollars on.
Not bad. Yeah, no, that's not bad at all right there.
But I know I just know it's gonna be Joe Shiesty. I just know it. I don't love the odds there, so I probably won't even bother. But who I'm lying to? I'm gonna take him. Like I said,
that's what we love to see.
Like I said, I do think the Bengals win. I do think the Bengals wear a certain color, and when they win this game, everybody's gonna be celebrating. People are gonna be high fiving that they won their bets, they're happy they won their boxes, lost their boxes. I'll be staring at the TV just like I know you will for that orange Gatorade plus 180. The winner from last year what was it? Clear? It was water, wasn't it?
It was clear last year.
Yeah. Allegedly, it looked purple to me. Looked purple to me.
I remember us shouting back and forth to each other, "It's purple! It's purple!" Because that was what I think
we were freaking out.
Yeah, we actually, holy fuck, we got it. I am going to be on blue Gatorade at plus 600. I have been looking up, trying to find every Gatorade shower in McVay's entire career, going back to when he was a quarterback in college, trying to find all Gatorade colors. And I've only found a couple so far, and a couple of them have been blue. So I'm going to stick with the blue trend, and that's a McVay color. That's what he likes.
I feel like if you're going to do that, I don't know. I have plus 400 for blue.
I have plus 600.
I'd just rather take the yellow, green, lime, the 3-in-1 combo for plus 350.
What do people like to drink? Blue tastes good.
So does yellow. Orange sucks.
Orange tastes like piss. Orange tastes like piss.
Orange sucks. It's the worst.
I wouldn't want to drink that on the sideline. I want to drink blue or I want to drink red.
They lowered these odds from last year. They lowered them. Purple's only plus 850.
I told you, I'm working the channels right now to figure out what type of dye shortages there are. If there's a red coloring shortage, I'm gonna know about.
Listen, it's gonna be orange. The Bengals are gonna win. Cam Akers never gonna get any rushing yards. Odell's gonna score a touchdown. Chris Collinsworth, when Odell scores a touchdown, is gonna say, "Hey, now here's a guy." McPherson's gonna kick a couple field goals. Guess who's gonna say something? Chris Collinsworth. Oh, here's a guy who makes his field goals. Ice in his veins. That's 3 times right there. And a couple more times, talking about one about Matthew Stafford, one about this guy, one about Von Miller. That's 6, no problem. I actually really like this year's slate of picks. Much better than last year. We went a little overboard last year. This one's good. Good level of money across the board. Tails never fails.
Always ride or die with tails.
You have anything else for us before we get out besides the Lakers suck ball sacks?
The Lakers are the trashiest of trash organizations. Everyone on that team needs to go. No, I don't have anything else right now. I will, like Billy's been saying, we'll have much more for this game coming up with total, spread, alternate stuff, prop bets, and everything. I'm still cooking a lot of prop bets. I'm working on my game of the year for my boy Billy here. I'm in the lab cooking up something good. I'm feeling really good on the hardwood right now. I told Billy earlier, I've had 2 same game parlays the past 2 nights, 10 picks each. I've gone 19 for 20 in them the past 2 nights. I'm starting to feel good. I'm heating up. I'm feeling like I'm Curry from 3 right now, and I just can't miss. So it looks like I am going to miss on the Warriors money line, which I have, which really sucks. But what happens when they lose by 30?
They played 4 games. They played like 6 games, like 9 days.
Rudy Gobert in the lineup tonight. I was looking at a shootout. Who has the better shooters? But I'll have the notes at prop bet slate ready to roll come Sunday. I've been cooking on it. I'll have a bunch more that gets added in there. But other than that, we'll see a lot of NBA plays coming up short and college basketball coming in fast. Time to get ready. March Madness is not very far away.
No, it's like 30 days.
30 days.
30 days till conference plays.
A special in-person show for March Madness, which is going to be pretty sick.
We're going to have a lot. If you decide to come through, we will have a live show, live gambling with the entire crew of my Degenerates. We rented a house. Dude, there's a home theater. It's going to be sick. You should definitely come by, Mr. Mo Watts. Like, follow, subscribe as always. We appreciate you guys. We're getting more and more followers every day. Yes, we haven't been putting out video content, but life's tough. We're still putting out picks for you. That's what you want at the end of the day. You want winners, and that's what we're giving you. Or at least I'm giving you. Mo Watts starting to give them to you.
We're warming up. We're teetering.
Mo Watts. This is when Mo Watts warms up. This is when he warms up.
This is my time of year. This is when I start to go off.
Yeah.
Usually it just takes a little bit. Once NBA or NFL starts to end and NBA gets past Christmas, I start to kick it into a new gear.
I'm the same way with college basketball. I'm 30-something games over 500 right now. I'm 57%. I'm hitting well. It's going to be – I can just, break even the rest of the year. I'll have a profitable year. Once again, that's 4 years in a row. Somebody call me an actual handicapper in college basketball nowadays. I should be selling these picks instead of feet picks, Anyway.
So, wait a minute. You're not just giving the feet picks for free. You're making me pay?
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm making everybody else pay. You get that sneak peek.
Say, I haven't had to pay for any of these yet, and that's what I look forward to every morning.
Yeah, I got an invoice for you. I'll send it over.
God damn it.
All right, Mo Watts.
I better win this Rams bet then.
You won't. Don't worry. Like, follow, subscribe, YouTube, all that good stuff. Twitter, Ben and Diagonal, FFD Podcast, Mo Watts 26, Billy FFD. We love you. Bet responsibly. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Have fun.